Hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. It is 11:11 in the morning, and I am on a little road trip. I've spent the last week pretty much in the house, just hanging out. It's been a vacation week away from work. You know, I'm a flight attendant, and I love my job, but one of the small little things that no one really talks about is the bit of fatigue that builds up of having to say, hello, welcome aboard to like sometimes 1,000 people a day, and having most of those people kind of walk past you, ignoring you, and then having to say, thank you, have a great day, bye-bye, to another 1,000 people. Sometimes it's really tedious. And to have a week off where I didn't have to say, hi, welcome aboard, has been nice. But I spent most of my week at home just relaxing, sleeping when I wanted to, snacking when I wanted to. I snack a lot, like on nuts and things like that. I don't really eat a lot on my days off because my time is better spent playing video games. Starfield, you know I was going to say it. And I've been playing Starfield for like 6-8 hours a day. It's like a full-time job. I think I played like 10 hours a day one or 2 days. Just like my neck must be fused into one piece by now. But I decided to take a little road trip today. I was going to head to one of the many ghost towns that are around Las Vegas. But having seen a couple YouTube videos about said ghost towns, I thought, that's not my speed. Those don't look very interesting. That looks really boring. So I decided to not go with ghost towns. In fact, I'd head back to a place that I love. I have not been here since before COVID. I think it was still COVID. Pre-COVID when I went last, was Valley of Fire. It's undeniably one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in the world. So I've been to Grand Canyon, and I have to say, I think I'd rather spend an afternoon at Valley of Fire than I would at the Grand Canyon. I know that's saying a lot, but it's such a beautiful, beautiful place. It's about an hour and 5 minutes from my front door. And so I'm sort of, I'm almost there. I'm probably about 5 miles before I have to take a turn off. There's a gas station up at that turnoff, so I want to stop off there for a moment, get some snacks, some more water, and check my air pressure. There's a little indicator on my dashboard, which I think means the air pressure in one of my tires is kind of off. I suspect that would be the front left one, which had that bolt in it that they plugged it, and they said it was guaranteed. It was like a plug for the life of the tire, they said, or something like that. I don't really pay attention. But I'm going to check that tire because I'm freaked out a little bit by lights on my dashboard, and I don't want to be like an hour out in the desert when my tire goes or something, you know. So that's my plan. Yeah, so it is a beautiful, beautiful day. The weather has totally become amazing. It was 110, 115 degrees every day, 100 degrees at night for months in Las Vegas. Not uncommon, not unusual, but the weather changes like this here in Las Vegas, and it's in the 80s during the day, sometimes the high 70s. Tonight it's supposed to be a low of 55 degrees, which is magnificent. For me, that's still short weather. I wear shorts, like little khaki shorts, my little hiking shoes today, and I'm giving off vibes of Arthur Cormier, my grandfather, right here. I looked in the viewfinder earlier, and I saw, oh my God, that's my grandfather looking right at me. He didn't have a beard, but he wore a blue ball cap. He wore a blue windbreaker, and it was like a set he used to wear. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm my grandfather. Listening to NPR, looking like this, I'm my grandfather. But this is a cute, I love this little windbreaker. It's a vintage Lacoste piece from the 80s, I believe. I have to look it up, but it's got this little metal tag somewhere on here. Very little one. But yeah, I love this little windbreaker. It's so cute. But yeah, there we go. So I'm hitting some sort of civilization here after about 40 miles of just dust and dirt, and that means the turnoff is coming up in just a mile or two. So I will see you when I'm better on the way to Valley of Fire. All right, see you soon. Hey there. All right, so I did miss my turn. I was listening to NPR. There were two people who won a big science award for helping create the what ended up becoming the COVID-19 vaccine and saving millions of people's lives. And I missed my turn. So I got off the road. I'm in Mesquite, Nevada, which I had never heard of before. But it sounded neat. So I did a little Google search. It was founded by Mormons in 1880. There's a couple golf courses nearby. That's about all I saw. This light is, what did, I have to, I'm going to ask my mechanic, but that light, see that little orange light at the top? Does that mean a tire is low? I don't know. I don't know anything about cars. I could pull up the manual, but it would take me forever to look at it. So I'm going to bring the car to the mechanic. I'm going to call and make an appointment for in the next couple of days to have them look at it, because I don't want it to be the tire that they patched, where the patch is failing or something. I don't want the tire to, do something dramatic while I'm driving, especially in the desert. So I'm going to look into that later on this week. But in the meantime, I'm going to grab a quick bite to eat so I can not be hungry while I walk around Valley of Fire. And excuse me. And yeah, hopefully the next time I see you, I'll be at the Valley of Fire. All right, toodaloo. So I feel like an absolute moron. I don't know what's wrong, what happened. The directions to Valley of Fire from Las Vegas are basically get on, I think it's 15, and just drive for like 40 minutes and then take a right, and then it's drive for another half hour or something. So it's really very, very simple. I was following my GPS map on my phone. That's what I was doing. That's what I always do. And I find myself, I missed my turn. And I think I missed it partially because I was listening to NPR, but also because the GPS signal was lost. I mean, look where I am. There's not a lot of like towers and stuff around here, I guess. But so I get off, I miss my turn, I get off at Mesquite. I grab a burrito, which I'll eat when I can, because I'm so irritated I can't eat right now. And I look at my maps to say, oh, so I just have to turn around, go back a couple miles, take my left, and I'll be good to go. No, my GPS says it's another hour and 5 minutes away. I'm like, wait, an hour and 5 minutes? Maybe from my original location, but not now. I just missed my turn. How can I be so far away? I have no idea. I don't know the area. Look, right? It's one road. It's impossible to get lost. How did I drive so far past it? I'm just assuming, because I just got a notification that the GPS signal was lost. Maybe GPS didn't know where I was and I just kept going. I don't know, but yay, I feel like an absolute moron. So don't be too critical of me, because I feel really bad about this. I feel like an idiot. But I can travel the entire country. I can navigate the Minneapolis airport by myself with one eye closed, but I can't drive down one road to get to Valley of Fire. I feel like an absolute moron. All right, so what I'm going to do is just enjoy this very scenic drive. It's a beautiful, beautiful view. Isn't it pretty? I'll eat my burrito, have an energy drink, and just enjoy the drive. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm still so irritated though. I'll see you at Valley of Fire. Eventually. So I know what the problem was. There was a turn off that I did not make because apparently GPS was not connected. And now I think I'm making another mistake. I might abort this. See this guy on the left with the slow sign and this line of cars? So the road to where I'm going is heavily under construction. And what they're doing is they're stopping traffic for a period of time on one side and allowing cars to go down. Like I'm going this way. They stop traffic for that way, and then they're gonna switch. And so when I come back, I'm gonna have to Yeah, it's so, this has just turned into a much more complicated road trip than I expected. It's a little frustrating. And I forgot to get cash. So I'm hoping that there's in this little town I'm in right now, which I don't know where this is. I'm hoping that there is maybe a bank machine somewhere, because I think parking or entrance might cost like $10 or something. I have vague memory of that. So I'm in the Mawapa Valley. There's a sign that I'm just passing on the left. There's yes, this is the Mawapa Valley. I don't know anything about this area. I'm mildly stressed. But my belly is full, so there's good. And I have caffeine, so that's good. And it's 12:30, so the day's not over. I've just been driving for a long time. I could probably be in LA by now. All right, let me stop complaining. It's a beautiful day. Well, I just found a little gas station with an ATM machine so I could get some cash in case I needed to get into the parking keys. And I had to use the little boys' room, the restroom. I'm going to be graphic in a moment. A little bit of reality here. You know, it's me. The bathroom. Men, guys, XY chromosomes out there. Work on your aim. My God, the bathroom floor was so covered with urine. It was indescribable. I literally had to, like, I had to sit down, sorry, to be a little more colorful. I had to, like, literally roll my undies, my shorts that I'm wearing, up into my undies to stop them, my shorts, from touching the ground. I know I'm very descriptive, but, like, I shouldn't have to do that. Gentlemen, pee in the toilet, not on the floor. Why is it so hard? I understand on an airplane we're doing this, but the floor is not moving here. All right, this day has just been so much already, and it's only just past noon. Oh, I'm so dramatic. All right, let's go. All right, I'm not there yet, but I'm close. It is 1:07 in the afternoon, so I've been driving for about 2 hours and 20 minutes if you take into account my little stop at that little boys' room. That was horrifying. I'm hopefully almost there. I've just driven through, or I'm in, I don't know, the Mawapa Valley, and there was a little rural town in the middle of nowhere, and very rural. And I'm never in a rural environment like that, and it was interesting to see this combination of an orthodontist pretty close to cattle grazing in a field. It was a strange place to drive through. But I think I'm almost there. I almost recognize this place. It's been a pleasant drive. Like, the views have been gorgeous. I wish I could have shown you what I've seen, but it's just been a little tedious because it's taken twice as long as it should have. But I'm almost there. The most memorable part of the day so far has been that bathroom. Oh my God. I'm sorry I was so descriptive, but it was really bad. It was bad. It was worse than any airplane I've ever been in. But I think I'm almost there. My God, the views are gorgeous. If I can stop, I'll pull over and show you. But they are remarkable. The views are gorgeous. All right, I'll show you when I get there. Look at this as I come over this crest. How gorgeous is that? All right, so maybe it's going to be worth it. All right, so I just stopped off at this little scenic stop off, and oh yeah, all right. So I am at let me show you the sign, at the Lake Mead National Recreation Area, and get a load of this view. Let me cross the street here. There's the road I'm traveling on, and look at these views. Absolutely gorgeous. Just beautiful. There's an RV parked out there. But look at those views. Look at that. So pretty. That makes me think of a movie from when I was a kid, Escape from Witch Mountain back in the 70s. But yeah, I am really close. And I'll tell you, as as tedious as this drive has been today, to look out at this is definitely reward for for all the tedium. It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. All right. Well, this drive has suddenly become very worth it. I just met these two women. I think they're a couple. And they've got their disabled daughter. She looks like a teenager. She's got, clearly she's got some physical issues. She's not mobile, very mobile, but, and she has something over her, what I think is called a stoma. I'm not sure if it's just for feeding or breathing and feeding, but she has a thing here, and she had a very hard time moving. They had to help her, but the three of us just had a really, really fun conversation about being from Vegas, moving away from Vegas, and just had a really, really nice little chat. And it almost made this very strange journey to get here worth it. So yeah, that was very nice. But oh, it was $15 to enter. I think it's per carload on shore. The visitor center is about 4 miles. Oh my goodness, this just felt like I was about to go down a roller coaster. How dramatic was that? I'm glad I was filming. There's a visitor center about 4 miles up, and so I'll definitely go check that out. There is a big window, I remember, showing you looking over a valley, which really clearly illustrates how this used to be an inland sea. This used to be all water, and it was really interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing that again. But isn't this beautiful? If you've been with me for a long time, you're probably tired of seeing these landscapes. I never tire of it, and it looks particularly green because we've had a lot of rain lately, but I never tire of these views. Let's try this again. This is a little bit of a rise. I wonder if it's going to be as dramatic as the last. Wow, so pretty. That wasn't quite as dramatic as the last rise I went over, but look at that. Look at that. It's so pretty. I think there is a place there's a place to stop off over here. I think I'm gonna take a little gander. Well, maybe I'll go on to the next spot. Look at that. That just looks like something out of an alien movie, doesn't it? Oh my God. All the stress of my drive here has melted away. Gosh, that's so crazy. So neat. Yeah, if my car were more four-wheel drivable, I would park over there. Oh, hey, I can still come over here. There's a camping ground over here. That'd be neat. Let's check this out. Whoop, whoop. This is a little mini SUV. It should be able to handle this, right? Let's get out and take a look around. There's some people who I suspect are rock climbers, I'm guessing, over there. Look at this. What I think is really cool is the texture. It looks like it's like all honeycombed. Isn't that wild? So pretty. The turquoise with the orange rock. So pretty. So if you've been to Red Rock is like one big clump, just like that, of this sort of iron ochre colored stone. And then this is just a taste of what the Valley of Fire has to offer. But I just think that the color, especially against that sky, is so remarkable. All right. And just look at that. I was going to continue heading along the regular path for the Valley of Fire Park here, but this little road that's next to that stop called Lone Rock or Lone Stone looked really kind of interesting. So I thought I'd just drive down here for a bit, and I don't see any other cars heading down here, so I probably shouldn't come down here, but I couldn't resist the views. Oh, look, there's a little, oh, look, it's like a mirage, a restroom. And what's that? Like a little dwellings made of rocks up there. What's going on? This looks neat. All right, this is my first stop. Can I pull up here? Yeah. Well, these things right there are called the cabins, built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in 1935. Constructed of sandstone and were used for many years to shelter campers and travelers. They're now preserved as a reminder of the work accomplished by the Conservation Corps. 9,000, okay. Let's go check those out. They've been there since 1935. That's cool. I just can't get over this color. Ugh, I can't imagine what that's like. There's a stagnant pool over there that looks very foamy. I can't imagine what that's like. But let's go. And here. So people from the Conservation Corps built these, and I guess they lived in them for however long they needed to. Eyes open. Huh. Cool. A little fireplace. Reminds me of my first studio in Las Vegas. Nice view. Look at the view. Could you imagine waking up to the smell of a smoky fire and looking out at that? Amazing. So I've arrived at what are called the Seven Sisters. I just think that's so neat, the way that this erosion has happened here in these like bands. Just so neat. It almost looks like something out of H. Geiger or whatever his name was that designed the alien from the movie Alien. So neat. It almost looks like biological. These are the Seven Sisters. There's 7 formations along here, and there's a nice beautiful walking path around here. I'm not feeling up to hiking through all that brush, but I'll walk around here. So neat. See how like the little holes line up? I just think that's interesting. Like, what about the stone in those particular places makes those little holes line up? Look at that. Look at that. One day that's going to fall. Gosh. I know you're probably tired of me oohing and eyeing over the simple fact of erosion, but I just think it's interesting. Look at this one little hole in this rock. It's actually quite large. I could move through that if I wanted to. But just think of the amount of time, hundreds of thousands of years, if not a million, I don't know. How long does it take for the little tiny bit of rain that we get here in Las Vegas to erode this kind of thing? Is it wind? Is it rain? What is creating this hole here? It must have taken just ages and ages, and it just looks like a still life. But then I think, well, no, it's still in process. This is still in the process of change. It's just, I don't know how it just makes me think about time, and I think it's wild. And I sounded like a total idiot. I'm mesmerized by a hole in a rock. Sorry. I'm glad I turned around the wrong way. I would have missed this. There's petrified logs, this petrified wood up here. Let's go check this out. Oh, good thing I'm driving a little mini SUV here. Well, there was definitely some rain recently. And there's some steps up there, and I think that little cage up there is protecting a piece of petrified wood. I know, look. Ugh, so great. All right. Oh, that winded me. Just from climbing up there. All right. Well, this is a petrified log. Whoop. All right, there you go. That is a very large petrified log. What does the sign say? Millions of years ago, this tree likely grew with others in a forest several miles from here. Floodwaters would have carried it here where it was buried in silt. Huh. Petrified forests are rather common in the West. All right, neat. 150 million years ago, this forest grew. 150 million years. Wow, crazy. I have a little more respect for this rock. I think there's more petrified logs up that way. I just don't think I'm built right now for that incline. So I'm gonna head down to my little car, my baby little car down there, and continue on back that way, which is the right way. Look at this. I thought it was a fake plant for some reason. Like, why would they put this fake plant? Because the leaves look totally fake. But then I look closer and there's like a little melon or a little gourd of some kind. Is that native? I wonder. It just kind of blew my mind to be sitting right there. We did get a lot of rain recently, but there's a bunch of it over there and over there. Isn't that wild? So I parked over there at the overflow parking for the visitor center, which is over there. And I made my way over here just because this rock formation just made me think of a cat. Of course I had to come check it out. Way out of my way to look at some rocks that are shaped like a kitty cat. Yeah, does anyone else see a cat in that formation? I just see a cat. Maybe I see Buddy, I don't know. Well, maybe Claire, because of the coloring. But just look at this day. Oh my God, I totally can't even imagine why I was stressed about today's drive out here. Look at this. Come on. All right, do you want to get a taste of what it's like to be trapped inside my head? All right, here it goes. I see this rock, I think, wow, that's a great rock. It's a conglomerate stone. Conglomerate means it's made up of other little smaller stones within a larger piece. Now think of how old these smaller rocks are to have been formed and then broken up by erosion or whatever factors, right? And then it's these little bits of broken rock are sitting in other soil or sand or such that is then turned into sandstone. Think of how old that little rock is right there, to be part of this very, very old conglomerate rock. Isn't that crazy? I just think it just pulls back the veil of time just a little tiny bit. That is what it's like to be trapped inside Steven's head, because I have those thoughts all the time, like, wow, that's weird. Am I alone in this? I don't know. Look at this. God, that is so freakishly pretty. So I'm inside the visitor center, and this little panel here, among many, is talking about what you're seeing outside this window here. And it says that, you know, the gray bands that make up some of this vista here of these hills and these mountains are made up of sandstone and limestone and that kind of stuff. A lot of it is like ancient sea life that was eventually made layer after layer after layer of what became stone. And these mountain ranges we see in front of us, this was all underwater off and on for like 500 million years. Just really, really, really neat. And I guess about 66 million years ago, it all retreated for the last time. Just really, really neat. I love this display. This makes me think of when I was a little kid, a little diorama. This is what I was talking about, how the much of the hills behind us are made up of like sea life, dead sea life that all fossilized and became stone. Isn't that cool? I asked a guy who was working in the visitor center if he knew anything about the flora of the area, and he said he really didn't know much, but I said, you know, is that vine out there with the little gourd or melon or something on it, is that native to the area? And he said he didn't know, but he said they had it back home and he recognizes it from there, and they call it trip vine. I was like, oh, all right, so where are you from that you recognize this vine? He said Texas, which I guess maybe has some similar environments. But he said it's called trip vine because it trips up horses. And I was like, oh, that's a good reason to be called trip vine. I have to see which way I'm supposed to be going. I think it's that way. I think it's this way. So yeah, that was sort of neat. I did take the wrong turn when leaving a visitor center. I was actually heading out of the park, but I realized my snafu early on, thank goodness, and turned back around to find magical places like this. Look at this. So pretty. So pretty. You know, there are times, because I've lived here in the desert for 6.5 years now, and there are times I kind of feel Boston was a dream, like it didn't even really happen, because I look at look, come on, I look at this kind of thing and think, you know, I thought I lived in the center of the universe in Boston, and you know, you never imagine you're gonna live so close to things like this. Goodness, New England just feels like a dream after living around this. All right, there's another little parking spot up there. I think I'm going to pull off for a few minutes and have a little snack and some of my energy drink. But I thought I'd share some of this part of the drive with you because it's so spectacular. Could you imagine finding this? Now, there were native people who lived here. It's not like white people discovered this. People were living here for thousands of years. But could you imagine being the first person from, say, you know, London or Europe or anywhere in Europe to find this and see it for the first time? Crazy, huh? All right, so I had some kettle cooked potato chips, jalapeno kettle cooked chips that were yummy, some peanuts, and some of my Rockstar energy drink. This is the Rainbow Vista. Let's see what the Rainbow Vista has to offer us. Oh my God. All right, wait till you see this. I have to show you this a little more clearly. Look at a good parking spot here. Oh, let's get in here. Whoa. All right. All right, this is the Rainbow Vista. Look at that. So pretty. That's all I can think to say. It's so pretty. Way out back there, there's huge mountain ranges back there. So beautiful. Look at the textures and the colors. People have probably been throwing stones up there for decades. Look at that. It's pretty high up there. And you'll see the desert is very, very green. We've had a lot of rain. You can kind of see the sand is speckled with raindrops. But the desert is very, very green today. Green and red and blue. This is my idea of hiking. Very gentle slopes, light inclines. Oh my God. Can you even believe this? Look at the textures. And see how, look at that over there. See how there's like that hill there has been like almost diagonally colored. There's three colors, like Neapolitan ice cream. There's the red, there's like a beige white, and then it's a darker beige at the top. And it's kind of tilted at an incline because that whole part of the earth there was tilted through, you know, geologic movements and stuff. But look. Crazy. And I can't quite see in my viewfinder because it's so bright, but do you see those outcroppings there? Oh, it almost looks like two hands coming together, like fingers put together. My grandmother used to make that gesture with her fingers, like she would do this, like, why can't you just listen to me? That's like an Italian hand movement. It looks like hands, like grandmother's hands right there. How cool is that? So neat. Look at this. And then there's my little car. Oh, it was so worth it to come out here today. Look at that. Isn't this what you think of when you think of the Southwest? These colors. Look at that sky, the puffy clouds, those distant hills that look like the Grand Canyon almost. This structure in front of me, it's crazy. And the sights get kind of really wild and really interesting over there. But see those people on that rock over there? They are incredibly loud. I have been kind of avoiding them all afternoon. They've always been just one step ahead of me, but I can't. You see him with his legs up, and yeah, I just can't. They're just so loud. You can hear them from here. Yeah, just a beautiful day. It's about 3:50 in the afternoon. The sun's going to set in about 3.5, 4 hours, I think. Yeah, every person in that group has a selfie stick, and they're all trying to get pictures that show them by themselves in the middle of this entire area, but they're surrounded by a group of really loud people. Judging them harshly. Yeah, bad. All right, so I think they closed the section that has the petroglyphs that you can actually see that Native Americans or somebody you know, thousands of years ago, carved these symbols into the sides of rock. And there has been vandalism for hundreds of years. But they had this scaffolding you had to climb up. It was like 50 feet up to actually see these petroglyphs, or whatever they're called. So I did see them my first time here, but I think they've closed that section off, unless it's way further down that way, which I'm not going. It's been a long day. I've been driving forever, so I'm gonna head back home. But I think they may have closed off. Isn't that pretty? All right, I think I'm done. I think I'm done for the day. As you know, I was very stressed earlier in my getting to Valley of Fire, but once I got here, man, it was definitely worth the drive. And I'm kind of overloaded, a little tired from driving and walking around and just snacking on bad things. So I'm gonna head home, love on the cats for a bit, of course hits Starfield for a couple hours, and then try to get to bed. In the next few days, in the next 5 or 6 days, I'm gonna try my best to start going to bed at a more natural time, or normal time, and waking up early in the morning, because my trips, except for one of them, are all very early morning shows for like 6 a.m. And so I'm gonna try and get myself acclimated to waking up a little earlier in the day, because the past week I've been waking up, I've been going to sleep, you know, at like 4 in the morning, so I'm sleeping late in the morning, late in the day. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you very much for joining me. I think this has really been fantastic. If it weren't for you in Vlogtober, I don't know if I would have naturally driven all the way out here and enjoyed myself so much. So I hope you enjoyed the views. I hope I wasn't too irritating with all of my, you know, talking. Some of you like my voice, which is very strange, because I hate my voice. Oh man, I hate my voice. Hearing myself talk just pains me, I'll tell you. But I think I'm done. I think I'm done for the day. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Vlogmas Day 2, and I'll see you tomorrow, all right? Fly safe.